Greetings and welcome to a brief overview of the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards Maintenance of Certification. I'm Sue Drake. I am a faculty member at Stanley Community College in North Carolina, and my initial certification was in 2001, English Language Arts, Adult and Young Adult Literature. And since then, I have renewed twice, and I should be good until 2031. So, coming from someone who has been exactly where you are, wondering, is this worth it? Should I renew or maintain this certification? I can without a doubt say yes. It continues to make you a better teacher in and outside of the classroom, and it continues to show you exactly how important all of these standards are, not just because they're standards, but because they are the things that show us what it means to truly be a teacher that impacts student learning as well as their communities. So let's take a dive. I put together a short presentation of the things that I would have wanted to know when I stood exactly where you are, wanting to renew or maintain my National Board certification. So for this, I have linked a page to frequently asked questions. So if you actually go to NBPTS.org, there is a frequently asked questions or a Q&A page that goes through many of the questions that you might have. So not only what is it, the foundation, the requirements, the video guidance, rubric, when you're eligible, when you should complete, and the options. These are all things that you will want to be aware of, but not necessarily things that I need to go over in depth for you here. I will go over a few of them. And one of the most important here is what actually is maintenance of certification. So there are two things that the National Board is looking for as you maintain your certification. And that is that you are growing professionally right here, and that you have a positive impact on student learning. So according to the National Board math, you as a professional teacher, you are supposed to every year continue to show growth and show a positive impact on student learning. Those two things are the things that you're going to be looking to prove in your portfolio that you would submit for maintenance of certification. So there are a few of you out there that may be wondering, what is the difference between renewal and maintenance of certification? Well, renewal was good for 10 years. Maintenance certification is good for 5. So it lasts 5 years, but along with that shortened tenure, it comes a cheaper price. It's $495 plus a $75 registration fee. It only has 2 components. And the scoring is either you are maintained or not maintained. A note about the scoring is that your portfolio that you turn in with these 2 components is scored independently and holistically. That means that there is a single reviewer or assessor that looks at your entire portfolio, and the entire portfolio is being assessed to prove that you are going to maintain, or that you are eligible to maintain your certification or not maintain your certification. So here, this is directly from that page that I showed you of the frequently asked questions. There are 2 components. Component 1 is a total of 8 pages. It is written commentary with 4 pages that are samples of products. These 8 pages consist of 2 PGE. These are personal growth experiences, which I'll talk about in a moment. So you are going to choose from all of the great things that you do as an instructor, you're going to choose 2 professional growth experiences that demonstrate the 2 things that I said before, that you are growing professionally and that you have a positive impact on student learning. So amongst those 2 professional growth experiences, you're going to have samples of products to demonstrate both of those experiences. And then you are also going to take one of those professional growth experiences and turn it into a video submission. You can choose either one. The video is 10 minutes, and that it should be in your original area of certification. So now that that has been said, let's take a look at what those component 2 considerations are, because I know you've got questions about that video, as well as what you are supposed to do in terms of when you are supposed to do it. So just as in your initial certification, you had to have video evidence of the standards that you were trying to show and demonstrate, the same is true for your maintenance of certification. So this video shows evidence of you directly interacting with students that are the age group of your initial certification. And this could be in person, and they also, good news, have allowed for a virtual lesson as well. So this could be a lesson that you have taught via Zoom. Now, the timing of this is pretty important. So you would want to begin planning early to complete the requirements for component 2. You can start video recording lesson for submission as early as September the 1st of the 3rd year since your initial certification, or since your most recent MOC if you initially certified in 2017 or later, or the 3rd year since your most recent MOC, or the 8th year since your initial certification, or since your most renewal if you were initially certified in 2016 or before. So I'm going to show you a timeline in a few more slides that will dive into that a little more deeply. So now that we took a look at that video component, I have linked in here the MOC instructions PDF. I referenced this a lot when I was renewing my certification, and to show you what that looks like, it is a 51-page PDF that has everything that you need to know about maintenance of certification. So when I reference that in this particular presentation, you'll know exactly what I am talking about. So let's talk about those PGEs. They should demonstrate new learning. In other words, it's ongoing, evolving, and varied. It should influence both within your classroom and outside of the classroom. It should show direct and indirect impact on student learning. And both of your PGs must show professional growth of the original certification area. So all of that you can find in detail on pages 4 and 8. Now, I like this little note here. You're going to want to select PGEs that allow you to showcase not just your accomplishments. It's actually what you did, the steps you took, and the milestones that you achieved to reach that accomplishment. So here is a good way to evaluate a PGE. In the middle is you. You are a learner of your specific content area, but you're also a learner of specific pedagogy. So when you're thinking about these growth experiences, take a look at where they radiate. In terms of students, do you provide specific subject knowledge support, or environmental supports, or strategy supports? When it comes to parents, maybe you're offering specific home strategies, data support and understandings, or specific training to parents. Your community, maybe you're developing specific partnerships or programs to connect students and families, specific initiatives to do any or all of those things. And then with your colleagues, maybe you are developing specific content support, pedagogy support, or partnerships for increased student learning. All of these things are good questions to ask yourself. What am I doing that intersects with these 4 different areas? And some of your PGEs will intersect multiple areas, which makes them even stronger. Here's some examples of professional growth experiences. Maybe it's a grant to implement a project, organizing family or community activities related to supporting students or providing equitable access to education. Maybe you're mentoring, coaching, or training new teachers on an ongoing basis. And that word ongoing is important. You do want to show that this is not just a single thing that you have done, but an ongoing initiative that you have put time and energy into. Maybe you're playing a role in special projects at the school, district, or higher level that have had a positive impact on students. Don't forget that whatever you choose, you will have to be able to show an impact on student learning. Maybe you did a needs analysis for instructional resources and developed a plan based on those results. Maybe you conducted research that led to changes in your or other instructional practice. Have you collaborated with colleagues, community members, and/or families to meet the needs of students? Created a website that's actively used by students and families to facilitate regular communication between school and home. So once you have this idea about what a PGE is and how you might make selections, there's a lot of resources out there to help you make these choices. A lot of these are through tables and graphs where you can write your PGE ideas down and then circle or check what intersections they have in the different areas that you're trying to show. These are 2 examples. It's a good idea to evaluate your PGEs based on how many points of intersection that they have. You want to get the most bang for your buck in the PGEs that you choose. So the word milestone was mentioned. So I wanted to give you an analogy, and this comes from Tracy Bryant Stuckey's site, and she supports maintenance of certification, or those that are seeking maintenance of certification, so I wanted to give credit where credit is due. But she says this: milestones look like a professional growth experience where you have lined up an imaginary set of dominoes that can clearly connect and knock down the one before it. Milestones are seen when a teacher's professional growth experience causes significant changes by crossing lines of connecting to professionals, parents, organizations, and/or the community. They're also seen when a teacher's PGE is ongoing. It doesn't just happen one time, and it has a far-reaching effect, maybe to affect other teachers' students or the community. It also may include the teacher in multiple roles, the teacher as a learner, a leader, a collaborator, and as an advocate. So in this sense, there is help for you. These selection templates you can find if you'll go to the PGE SOP selection template. This is through the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards.org, so NBPTS.org. There's MOC guide instructions and forms. If you scroll down, you're going to see this great set of instructions and forms. So if you go to MOC PGE selection and you click on that particular form and you open it up, you're going to find that they already have some amazing templates for you to follow. You don't have to create all of this on your own. So it's great to utilize the helps that you already have rather than trying to reinvent the wheel. So this form looks like this, the Professional Growth Experience PGE selection. So you'll notice that this particular box is what I copied and pasted and gave a screenshot for you in one of the previous slides. So I wanted to make sure that you knew that you could get these templates on your own. You don't have to actually create them. So here's a quick timeline for you for year 1 all the way through year 5. Now, I can tell you that it is possible, entirely possible, to do the entire maintenance of certification in 1 year. So this is an extended timeline, but don't let that scare you. You don't have to take 5 years to do this. I was able to successfully complete my maintenance of certification, and for me it was renewal, but maintenance of certification in a period of months, not years. So if you're looking at this timeline, then don't let it scare you. You can totally do this in a shorter time frame. But here is the timeline just in case you want to have it. And then above all, the most important thing is to remember that Walt Disney did say it correctly when he said the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. So for you, staring at a blank page and wondering whether or not this is worth it, I hope that you can see the value in maintaining this certification and keeping up that National Board Professional Teaching Standards certification that allows you to be a continuing part of this very influential and important community. So quit thinking about it and just get started.